Alright guys, we are on to a 2H60 series. Now this is a 1988 model 2H. What we've got going on is an oil leak on the actual oil cooler that's on the side of the block. There's an aluminium housing that bolts to the side of the block, and it's where the oil filter housing, so this is what the oil filter would normally bolt to. We've already got that off. That was leaking, but it's also actually leaking where that actually bolts onto, which is this big housing. Hang on, let me just turn the light on. That's better. Okay, so we've got that housing that's running there. You can see the bolt in the middle of it. That's where the oil filter would normally bolt to down there, and this housing goes all the way along, right behind that diesel pump. Right in through there, you can see it, and it goes to the back of the motor. So that whole thing has to come off. Now to get that off, we've got to get the timing case off. Now to get the timing case off, I've got to get the fan off and the radiator out. So I've already started and I've got the air box out of it. That's just here on the bench. And only a couple of other little bits and pieces. And the other thing that was leaking on this vehicle was the oil, the sump, and that's already out and getting cleaned, so I've got to get that bolted back up soon. But I just thought I'd show this video of basically how to change that gasket, which means we've got to get this diesel pump out of the way. Alright, now that we've got the radiator out of the way, we've got a lot more access to the crank to get the harmonic balancer off, and then we'll be able to get the timing gear out of the way. And right behind that little part there is the front of the diesel pump. We've got to get that undone to be able to remove the diesel pump. Right, so what we had to do is actually put this large socket on the actual crank and then use the starter motor to turn the engine over to get the harmonic balancer nut or bolt to crack. Okay, here we are, getting the harmonic balancer off. I've got the puller on there. It's just a 3-point puller, 3 bolts into the harmonic balancer. And then it's just a matter of putting your ratchet on the right way around. So it winds out, winds the harmonic balancer off. And yep, that's coming off nice and easy. Sick. One thing I didn't say is make sure you've got your mark for top dead center lined up with where your mark is for top dead center down there before removing it. So then you know that your crank and everything's in line for your timing when it comes to actually pulling your pump off. And also putting it back together is the most important bit. Next bit that's actually got to come off is the power steering pump. We've got the other bolts out. This is the last one. This will just drop down and swing off the hoses there. Ah, got my finger caught. Sorry, that was bad filming. Hard to do that at the same time as while we're filming. Cool. Now it's just to get the timing case off and I can get to the pump. If you don't have a Milwaukee ratchet and you work as a mechanic, you need to get one of those ratchets. They are awesome. Right, now timing case is off. It's time to get into the front of it. Let's go with... Alright, lots going on in here today at Pokey Mechanical. Oh, why have I got the flash on? Right, now that's off. I can see what I'm doing. I'm back onto the 2H. I didn't get anything done on this yesterday. It was a bit too busy and chaotic with everything else going on around the workshop. But I've worked out what I can do is undo the diesel pump from here, and this housing piece right there, where you can see that split, that piece there comes back with that gear and removes off the engine. So I've just undone the lines here, just about to do the last one, get them up out of the way so I can move this back, and I've already got the other delivery lines and return lines out of the way. Just this breather and a breather there I've got to undo to get that off, and this will come out hopefully. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Right, got it all undone, and supposedly this should just slide out backwards. Oh. What's catching? I've got a fuel line here. close. Oh, it's on a bracket on the block. Right there. Oh, you bugger. Alright, that's got to go back in. Don't get caught with doing that, guys. That means I'll have to get that nut there off. Or... no, I have to get in here and do it. Alright. 12mm. Would you be able to pass me a 12mm ratchet spanner from... you can stop filming that one now. Yep. Right. Oh, if I've got the strength to lift it out, it'll come out now. And there's one 2H diesel pump out of the car. Whoa, that's heavy. Thanks. Alright, now that's off. It's time to start cleaning up this surface here for it to seal back up, and then we can put it back on. Only thing I've got to do is there's a bolt that broke at the back corner there that you can see just sticking out. Got to get that bolt out and replace that. Might get some gasket goo remover. Okay, the saga continues for getting this stud out of the back of this block. What's happened is, stud broke off, so I've now welded a nut to it. I've just used a whole heap of freeze release to try and cool the stud, and now I'm going to try and loosen it just by moving it back and forth with the spanner gently, and see if we can get something to happen here. And nah, it's just snapped straight off. Hasn't even fucking bit. Need another nut. Weld it again.
With that Ranger.
Alrighty, I've just been to our local store, Nubco. That's basically where we buy all our tools. Well, not where we buy all our tools, that's a lie. It's just our local sort of tool supply here. And got myself one of the Milwaukee 90-degree drills. Alrighty, time to put this beast to work. I've tried welding to it and had no success with this stud in the block. So now it's time to try and start drilling it. And I'm really hoping that it hasn't hardened too much from welding and getting it hot, that I can't fucking get through it. But I haven't been able to get a nut to actually weld to the stud to get it out, because it's just rusted in so bad. So I just bought these cobalt drills yesterday to give this a go with, and that has actually worked out really well using the 90 degree, went straight in. So it's time to get the easy out in there and see if we can get it out. I finally got it, The bolt will go straight in the hole now. Can't really film and show you at the same time. I don't know if you see that, but that is screwing in mint. I've just ran the tap through it, cleaned the thread, and that is sorted. We can start putting this back together. Oh, that was stressful. Thank God it got out. Alright guys, there's a heap in this video I missed right in the middle. Michael, the new apprentice, was giving me a hand, and I was more focused on educating him on how to do it properly, cleaning up all the gaskets. So what we did was clean up all the gaskets on all those parts. I had to obviously drill out the hole, you're seeing that. Then got the cooler back on and got the pump back in. So that's where we're up to, and I'm sorry I missed that in the middle of the video. Okay, now we've got the diesel pump in and we've got all the injection lines on. The next stage is to get all the timing gears lined up. Now, on the front of the timing gears is numbers that you've got to line up to match each other. So you can see there's those ones there, 3 and 3, that all matches in, and 0 and 0 all match together and are perfect. So now we know that the timing for the engine and the cam to the pump from the crank is all going to match, and it should run perfectly. Okay, now that all this has been torqued in correctly, what I've done is actually put the nut back on the crank. I rotated the crank 2 full revolutions, that way you know that the cam's done 1 full revolution, and so is the diesel pump. And then, yeah, basically set it back to top dead center, and everything's all in alignment where it needs to be for putting it all back together. So it's time to put the sealant on and put the gasket on for the timing case. Now, always make good to go back over and check these by hand if you're using a power tool like this. Never trust it that it's going to be torqued up correctly. Now we have the radiator in with the funnel on, it's filled with coolant. We're bleeding up the fuel system, so we've done the priming at the pump down the bottom on the hand priming. You can see it sticking up there. That needs to be screwed back down, and then we can start actually cranking it and checking that we get fuel out the injectors, and we'll go through that process and film it for you. So I'm going to be turning the key and cranking it over while Michael's locking off each injector. So what he's going to be looking for is fluid to be squirting from the injection line at the back of the injector while it's cranking, and once you see a wet bit coming out of it, you lock it off, and hopefully that injector will start firing and the engine will start running on that one cylinder. The more you lock it off, the less misfires it'll have until you get them all done. Okay, so we're just going to start cranking. Michael's going to have the spanner ready to go, look for the wet ones and lock them off as we go.
No, nothing.
Maybe just start pumping the hand pump a bit more. Just let me up there. Pause from the...
Yep.
Take 2. They're down. Just let the start light have a rest. Oh, she's nearly running. Oh, Millie. Nice running. Awesome. So what we'll do now is we'll just turn it off again, check the oil level, and then we'll just start it up, make sure it starts first go, and we're good to go. She's already all done.
Oh, yeah, I am. You can actually see, you can see in the hole that it's like,
So we need to fill up the oil a little bit more as the oil's gone into the...
Right. Alright, we've got the oil in, topped up. Let's see if she'll start first go. Beautiful. Mint. So that's the diesel pump off, fix the oil leak that's in behind there on the oil cooler, and put it all back together, and that's basically first start up that you got to see there, and it's running. So 6, time to take back to the customer.